Hey everybody, Matthew Hollis here with 365 films. I've just watched The Warriors, so I thought I'd let you all know how it is, and obviously, like I've said before, I'm reviewing 365 films this year. I'm going to watch 365 movies, a movie a day, and review it on here on Periscope. First thing I want to say about The Warriors is the movie's made in 1979, so back in the 70s, really, was a great time for film. It was a time where you were able to kind of express yourself and come up with a ton of ideas that you really weren't able to pull off in the 60s and before that. And even today, now, the movies really aren't as risky as they were in the 70s. You know, Clockwork Orange was made in the 70s. Taxi Driver was made in the 70s. Some of those are my favorite films. And Warriors really falls in line with that, but it also falls in line with another thing I noticed when I was watching it, and that it was made in 1979. And it is obviously right on the edge between being really different like the 1970s movies, but also having that 80s feel to it. And I feel like out of all the movies I've watched, and I've watched a ton, it was the first kind of movie that had that bridge from the 1970s to the 1980s. You know, it had all that risk from the 1970s, but also all those kind of catch lines from the 1980s. And if you guys have seen a ton of 1980s movies, you know what I'm talking about, you know, the explosions and stuff like that. But it doesn't go that far into it. But basically, I enjoyed a ton of it. There are a couple things that I didn't like about it. The acting in some of the characters wasn't really that great, and obviously the movie is kind of just a chase movie. The fighting scenes were really good, although one thing I don't like is a ton of jump cuts, you know, and they shoot a move and then they jump cut to the next move and then they jump cut to a next move. So it's like cut, 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 and the whole fight is just all over the place. And there's a little bit of that in there, but obviously this is like 1970s, you know, even choreography back then wasn't as great as it was in the 80s when a lot of those movies really started to take off. So I really enjoyed it. The story was pretty cool. I liked the fact that all the gangs have different, you know, their different look and the different things that they went out and used, you know, even down to weapons and like their wardrobe and even where they were and their names were really, really cool. So I enjoyed that aspect of it, and overall, if I had to give the movie like out of a 10, which I don't like reviewing movies that way, but I would probably give it around like a 7 or a 7.5. And that's high in my, like the way I review movies is an 8 is like something that I really, really would enjoy. A 9 is like almost the best movie, and then 10 obviously. I've only got like 2 or 3 movies that I've given a 10 out of 10, and that's like The Godfather, Pulp Fiction, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly are my top 10, like 10 out of 10 movies. But basically that's it for my Warriors review. The Warriors review. I really don't want to make these too long, obviously. And tomorrow, you guys can recommend movies to me. Obviously, I love when you guys recommend movies. Carrie, thank you for recommending The Warriors. I really enjoyed it. And I would love for you guys to recommend more movies, even if they're bad movies. You know, it's great. It's great to watch incredible movies all the time, but I would love to do a review for you guys out of these 365 days that I'm doing this on some bad movies. Yep, love The Warriors, and tomorrow, as far as what movie I'm going to review tomorrow, normally I don't pick out what movies I review. I let you guys either recommend some, and I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've actually never seen that, which is a surprise. But that would be a movie definitely. I might wait till like a Halloween-ish type period to do that movie, but yeah, tomorrow is my birthday, actually. I turn 24 tomorrow, so we're going out and seeing The Hateful Eight. And if you guys don't know me, I am a huge Tarantino fan. I love most of, like almost 80% of all the movies he's made. So I'm going to be doing a review tomorrow on The Hateful Eight, and that's a new movie. That movie just came out, so this isn't always going to be just older movies or just newer movies, but it'll be all kinds of movies. So thank you guys for wishing me happy birthday, and that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much again for supporting me, and I hope you enjoyed my quick Warriors review. Another thing I want to add quick about The Hateful Eight is I really thought that, you know, a ton of these movies, some of them are I really want to go more in depth than 4 or 5 minutes, and The Hateful Eight might be the first movie where I kind of do an overtime segment where I'll sit down and really talk about it for like 10 minutes or so. So I don't really have that kind of time constraint because I really like to get into Tarantino's movies and really go through the nitty-gritty details of them. So thank you guys so much for getting on here and giving me hearts, and I love and appreciate all you guys. So see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Goodbye.